Great, thank you. Yeah, so as you said, I'm the Kyle Tutt, co-founder and CEO of Pinata, and then we have Justin Hunter with us as well. Fun fact about Justin, he was I believe, the 256th user of Pinata, and when he was building his own company, and we had to reach out to him because he was breaking all of our infrastructure, and now he works with us. So it was a great way to meet him. So basically what Pinata does is we manage what I'll call off-chain data for blockchain applications. And the reason you need to have something to manage off-chain data for blockchain applications is because blockchains are really, really bad at storing lots of information. So you might hear a lot that people want stuff to be on chain as much as possible. That is pretty difficult to do. If you want to store something like a gigabyte on Ethereum, it would cost like $4 million. So you have to be very, very efficient at where you store data. Now, the reason that people use IPFS, or the Interplanetary File System, is because they need a way to prove that the data is what it's supposed to be. So if you were just storing data on something like AWS, or maybe even a Dropbox link with a traditional URL, and putting that on a blockchain, you can actually change out what the data is underneath. And so you can introduce basically fraud, or bad things can start happening when you can't prove that the data is what it's supposed to be. So with IPFS, what IPFS does is it generates what's called a content identifier, or a CID. And I'm going to share my screen here. And you can actually see this in the middle of the screen. These files all have a content identifier that is unique to them. So the data itself gets a unique identifier, and then you can take that identifier and embed it to a blockchain. And where we've had a lot of success is actually with NFTs, or non-fungible tokens. So what they will do is they will upload data of any sort. It can be something as simple as a ice cream JPEG, or it could be a full, huge data set or application, or any kind of file type, essentially, that can be uploaded to us. And then they will take, at the top, you can see this URL. They will take this and they will embed this into the NFT. And with that CID, you can always verify that this file is what it's supposed to be when it was minted as an NFT on on apps like OpenSea, or Rarible, or kind of any of those NFT marketplaces or applications that exist out there. We happen to underpin a lot of them. A lot of the marketplaces use us, as well as individual creators and applications, and pretty much anybody that needs to use this CID paradigm in the space. Mostly used by developers and people building applications, and they use our API, but we do have this user interface that can kind of show you what it looks like. Nothing super crazy, just kind of looks like Dropbox. You can upload files, upload data to IPFS, and we run IPFS infrastructure behind the scenes here, making sure that it's fast and easy. And then, as I already mentioned, what they will do is take these CIDs and embed them into the NFTs themselves. One other thing that we do is we actually allow for unique gateways. So I don't know if anybody noticed with Fabrica's, I guess, example, they were using the IPFS.io gateway, which is run by Protocol Labs, or the company that that created IPFS. But what we enable for people now is you can actually have dedicated gateways. So you can see this one says tutorial.mypinata.cloud, or I can even do my personal one, which is kyletut.com/IPFS. And you're actually able to grab content from these gateways, these different gateways that you can spin up through Pinata, or by yourself, and serve content through them. And so this gives you different avenues to access and serve content without needing to serve it from ipfs.io or even our public gateway, which is gateway.pinata.cloud. So it gives for people that want their own branding, want a little bit more control, they have the ability to have access to that. So you could imagine somebody like Meebits doesn't want to serve content necessarily from ipfs.io. They would want to serve that content from meebits.com or whatever their URL is, while still maintaining the security of the content identifier. Now, what this brings up is a question of in the NFT space, you do still want to actually change content. And how do you do that with a CID that is unchangeable, or if it changes, it kind of breaks things. And so we always look at content identifiers as a way to prove basically changes of the underlying NFT. So if the asset does need to change, you can update and provide audit trails for the NFTs. And we're seeing this a lot in the gaming side of the space, as well as just as the space is innovating and growing over the last 6 months, a lot of interesting use cases around how do you manage these CIDs and update NFTs over time. They're not, NFTs don't have to be immutable. They don't have to be unchanging. They're actually very, what we're seeing is very living. And so we're developing tools to kind of help with that. Yeah, that's basically it. There's not too much more to demo from our perspective. You upload data, and we help you manage it for your NFTs or blockchain applications.